boys and girls. It's good to be back with you again. Even though we're not face to face, I'm glad that I'm back to work, at least virtually. And by now, you've heard that I lost my mom to COVID-19. So we were really sad. And, you know, it's been a rough week, but I'm happy to be back. And I'm excited, actually, to be able to work again and keep my mind distracted. So I'm going to go over lesson 712 that I posted today. And with the lesson, I posted a video that you were supposed to watch patiently because I know it was pretty long, 30 minutes. And then the Google form here. I also attached a price list that you need or that you needed to answer the questions because there were word problems. And you need these prices to answer the questions. And if you look at each item that they have, you would notice that there are two prices. And this is explained in the video that I sent. So for example, the tissues. One box of tissues costs 73 cents, as it shows up there on the top. But down here, if you buy 5 boxes of tissues or more, you're only going to pay 57 cents per box. So you have to pay attention to the word problem in order to know which price you're going to look at. So let's look at the question number 1. It says that Jeff bought 5 toothbrushes and 1 tube of toothpaste. What is the total cost? Oh, I forgot to put an I there for is. Okay, so I have to look back at my price list. And I'm going to look for toothbrushes. It's on the second page, so I scroll down. And you see, so 1 toothbrush cost $1.38. But because Jeff was buying 5, he's going to pay $1.13. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to multiply to do a shortcut. So $1.13 times 5 because he bought 5 toothbrushes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore the decimal point and I'm going to multiply as if I were multiplying 113 times 5. So I multiply 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. And 5 times 1 is 5. Now you see how there are 2 places after the decimal point? My answer is also going to have 2 places after the decimal point, which means my decimal point is going to go there. So he spent $5.65 on the toothbrushes. And the toothpaste, because he's only buying 1, I'm going to look at the price at the top, $1.39. So he spent $1.39 on the toothpaste plus $5.65. And it wants to know how much he spent in total. So we have to add these 2 numbers together. 9 plus 5 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. And 4 plus 6 is 10. So I put my 0 here and I carry my 1. 2 plus 5 is 7. And my decimal point is going to go straight down. So he spent $7.04. Now, you could have also solved this because you didn't know how to multiply probably with the decimal there. You could have added $1.13 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I have 5 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Carry the 1. And I had 5 1s plus 1 more 1 is 6. And then I have 5 1s there. So you would have gotten the same answer. But now you know how to multiply with decimals. Okay? So the answer for number 1 is $7.04. Question number 2. Mr. De La Garza pays for 8 boxes of tissues with a $5 bill. So how much change will he get? Okay, so let's go back and look at the boxes of tissues. Now, he bought 8 boxes of tissues. And if you buy 5 or more boxes of tissues, your price is going to be 57 cents for each box. So you could add 57 cents 8 times, right? But now that we're in 4th grade, we can look for shortcuts and do multiplication. Because even just writing this down takes a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you can add 57 8 times, or we can multiply. So what we do is we write 57 cents up here with the 0 and the decimal point and everything, and we multiply by 8. When you multiply, you're just gonna ignore the decimal. Just pretend it's not there and you multiply as if this were 57 times 8. So 8 times 7, sorry, that's my dog. 8 times 7 is 56. Carry the 5. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 5 is 45. Carry the 4. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. 456. And now I'm gonna put my decimal point. So I have 2 places after my decimal point. So I have to leave 2 spaces after the decimal point in my answer. So that means the decimal point is gonna go there. So he spent $4.56, but the question says that he paid with a $5 bill. So how much is his change? So now I have to do the next step. There is my $5. Now to find out how much change he got, you're gonna subtract. Now remember, when you have zeros at the top, remember the top number has to be bigger than the bottom number. So that means you have to borrow from the 5. So that becomes a 4. This 0 becomes a 10, right? Because the one that we borrowed from the 5 goes to the next door neighbor. And then this 0 can borrow from that 10. So we're going to take 1 away from the 10. We're going to be left with 9. And this 0 becomes a 10. And now I can subtract. 10 minus 6 is 4. And 9 minus 5 is 4. And 4 minus 4 is 0. And my decimal goes straight down. So he spent, his change is 44 cents. Number 3. Okay, how much more do 5 pairs of shoelaces cost than 3 pairs of shoelaces? Okay, so let's go look for the shoelaces and let's look at the price for 5 shoelaces. Shoelaces, down here. Okay, so because he's buying 5, the price for 5 shoelaces or more is $1.08. Okay. So instead of adding $1.08 5 times, I'm just gonna multiply $1.08 times 5. Okay. So just ignore the decimal and just multiply like 108 times 5. So 5 times 8 is 40. Carry the 4. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. And 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, so we know that 5 shoelaces cost $5.40. Now, what if he bought 3? If you bought 3, your price is going to be $1.27. So we're going to multiply $1.27 times 3. Because remember, this special price down here is when you buy 5 or more. But if you buy less than 5, your price is going to be higher. All right, so we're going to multiply 127 times 3. 3 times 7 is 21. So my 1 goes down here. Carry the 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And 3 times 1 is 3. And I have my 2 places after the decimal point, so 381. Now the question is, how much more is this number than this number? So when you hear that word, those key words, how much more, they're asking you for the difference. That means you have to subtract. So I'm going to do $5.40 minus 381. Remember to borrow from your neighbor when the number on top is smaller. So I'm going to borrow from this 4 and I'm left with 3. This becomes a 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. And this 3 has to borrow from the 4. 13, and this becomes a 13. And 13 minus 8 is 5. And 4 minus 3 is 1. So my answer is $1.59. Okay. Question number 4. How much more does it cost to buy 5 rolls of wrapping paper than 2 rolls of wrapping paper? So it's very close to the same problem we did for number 3. But now we're going to look for wrapping paper. Wrapping paper is right at the top corner on page 2. So 5 rolls of wrapping paper is $1.86. Okay, so now I'm going to do $1.86 times 5. Wait, was it 5? Let me just look at the question again. Yes, 5. Okay, $1.86 times 5. So 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 5 times 8 is 40 plus 3 is 43. My 3 goes here and I carry the 4. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9. So if he buys 5 rolls of wrapping paper, he's going to spend $9.30. If he buys 2, look, the price per roll is $2.35. Remember that this special price, this discounted price, is only if you buy 5 or more. But if you're going to buy less than that, your price is going to be $2.35. So $2.35 times 2. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6, and plus 1 is 70, right? Because 35 plus 35 is 70. And then 2 times 2 is 4. And I already put my decimal point there. So the question, the same thing. How much more is it that he is spending if he buys 3 rolls? So how much more is $9.30 than $4.70? So you subtract to find the difference. All right, so 0 minus 0 is 0. I'm going to borrow from this 9, and I'm left with 8. This becomes 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. And 8 minus 4 is 4. So my answer is $4.60. All right, boys and girls, I know that these word problems were not very easy. They were a little tricky, a lot of steps involved. It takes patience. But it didn't even take me that long, even working slowly. The rest of the questions that I posted were review, so that we could practice reviewing some of the skills that we've already learned. So I posted long division. Let's just really quickly do these last ones. 260 divided by 4. Think about your 4 times tables. How many times does 4 go into 26? Because it doesn't go into 2. So you have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, right? To get 24, I have to multiply by 6. 6 times 4, we said, was 24. And then subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down my 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20, and I don't have any remainders. Next one was 702 divided by 3. So 3 goes into 7 twice, right? Because 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract. Bring down the 0. How many times does 3 go into 10? 3, 6, 9, right? 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, that's 1. 10 minus 9 is 1. And now I bring down the 2. And 3 goes into 12 exactly 4 times. And same thing here, no remainders. Okay. Multiplication. Okay, guys, this one, we didn't practice this too much in class. unfortunately, we did 2-digit by 1-digit, 3-digit by 1-digit. This is a 4-digit by 1-digit problem. Same thing though. 9 times 6 is 54. Carry the 5. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 5 is 17. 6 times 7, 42, plus 1, 43. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 4, 34, and my comma goes after 3 digits, right? So my answer is 34,374. Now, 2-digit by 2-digit. I'm going to use traditional method. Okay. So first, I ignore the 5, and I'm just going to multiply the 4 times my 1, right? 4 times 7 is 28. Carry the 2. 4 times 9 is 36. Plus 2 is 38. Now remember, I have to put a 0 here because now I'm multiplying by the tens place. So I'm going to start in my tens place, not in the ones place. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 3 is 48. Now look where I'm putting my 8, and the 4 goes out here by itself. And then I add these two numbers together. 8, 13. This is 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry my 1 is 5. So 5,238 is my answer. Okay. For number 9, I just have to add up all these fractions. So he walked to his friend's house, then he walked to another friend's house, and then he walked to the mall, right? So first he walks 3/8 of a mile to Jenny's house. Then he walks 2/8 of a mile to pick up Tony. And then he walks 1/8 of a mile to to go to the mall. So when you add fractions, you just add the numerators. The denominator stays the same. So I just add the numerators. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So my answer is 6/8. Number 10, 5 times 3/7. Now when you multiply fractions, well, fraction by a whole number, it's a little bit different. It's actually very easy. I think it's easier than adding because you just multiply across. Because this 5 is by itself, I'm going to put a 1 underneath it to make it into a fraction. And then you just multiply numerator times numerator. 3 times 5 is 15. And you multiply denominator times denominator. 1 times 7 is 7. So your answer is 15/7. Or some of you, I know, took it a little step further, which is great. And you did the long division. So 7 goes into 15 twice. 2 times 7 is 14. Subtract, you have 1 left over. And that remainder you can put over your divisor to make it into a fraction. So your answer could be 2 1/7, or you could have left it like this, 15/7, and both answers are correct. All right, chicos, sorry that the video is long, but there were a few questions to review, and those word problems had a lot of steps. But please, I hope you take your time to watch the video to review the answers. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.